It's your boy, Mr. Smith, back again with yet another banger, another video. Let's get into it, man. We want to put down our first layer of our beautiful mixed media masterpiece. We're going to be doing this in small sections, small and medium-sized sections, okay? The idea here is we need stuff to lay flat. If you try and take a big piece of paper, do it all at the same time, it never works. There'll be little lumps and like ripples, and it's got to be flat. This is the stuff we are using. We're going to be using gesso. We have options. We have the traditional white gesso. We also have clear gesso. You're also going to have a cup of Elmer's glue that has been watered down. And you want to have 2 different brushes. First step, go ahead and put gesso on the canvas. We don't need to cover the entire canvas, just a section that's a little bit bigger than the piece of paper you are looking to glue down. Be very, very liberal with the amount of gesso you are using, okay? Especially the clear gesso. The clear gesso just disappears into the canvas. Canvas is like a sponge. So what it does is it sucks up the gesso and actually ends up on the other side a little bit as well. So if it's constantly just sucking it up, going to the other side, then the paper is never, ever going to stick. This is why we need to use more than we might think we need to. Also, look at this. Perfect time to take care of the sides of the canvas. Leaving the sides of the canvas raw, it looks incredibly unfinished, unprofessional. So when you are lining up the piece of paper, keep the edges in mind. Here we go. Flip it over. And on the back, we want to put an entire layer of water and glue. This is with the other brush. One brush is a gesso brush. The other brush is for Elmer's and water mixture. This can also just be called a liquid adhesive. So I covered the back of it 100%. Now I'm taking the wet side of the newspaper, laying that right on top of the gesso while everything's still wet. A couple extra inches to wrap onto the edge there. And now I'm applying my third and final coat of liquid adhesive on the top. The only way you can get everything to dry totally flat is if the piece of paper is 100% saturated. This works really well with thin paper. Stuff like newspaper, cheap drawing paper, they might have some sketches on, newsprint, maybe the old school yellowy magazine papers from the Rolling Stones mags. And the final step here, you just press the air bubbles out, get it nice, super flat seal with your hands. Some people try and skip this step. Sometimes you can get away with it, but if it doesn't dry flat, then you know you got to go over it with the fingers.